Blessings to you. My name is Gabrielle, and welcome to my channel where I talk about transformation and mindset shifts. And I pray that you're elevated to your next level. I want to share with you about holding space and holding your peace. And I have been reflecting on this because sometimes, that need to control things may come up. And especially if you've done a lot on your own or you're accustomed to um, being to yourself a lot, and maybe you're in new environments and around new people, and that urge or that need to control what's going on around you can sometimes affect your peace. It can affect your mindset, your way of thinking, how you process things. And what I really began to realize is the importance of holding your peace and releasing the outcome. And that may be in your relationships, that may be at work, that may be in organizations or anything that, may come up for you. Sometimes when we try to control the outcome, it can disrupt our peace. It can disrupt the way we think, the way we process things. And we find ourselves so overly focused on someone else or what someone else is doing that we forget about ourselves. And then when you begin to look at what you're doing, you're realizing there's some things that I didn't do that I was supposed to do. I was supposed to finish this. Oh, I could have taken time to get this done. So all of that focus has now been placed on someone else when you have things that could have used that energy. And I think it's very important to understand that your peace is very valuable, and how having a calm and quiet spirit is so empowering, not only to you, but to your children, especially as moms, as single moms. We need to make sure that we are nourishing and we're taking care of ourselves, because at the end of the day, we are raising another generation. We are raising our children to go out and be good stewards, to go out and have an excellent spirit. So if you are so frustrated, if you're exhausted, if you're drained because you've decided to let your focus be on something else, then that affects your household. And I think it is very important to really self-reflect and to sit and see what has your focus. What is it? Is it a relationship? Is it a long to-do list? Is it you're concerned about things that are happening in the world, and it's burdening you, and it has caused an anxiety because you're not releasing it, you're not giving it to God, you're not journaling about it, you're not praying about it, you're just sitting with information that is now affecting you through your ear gates and your eye gates, because maybe it's the news, maybe it's things on social media. As you're strolling, the title, the words, all of those things, you have to be reminded that you're taking that information in. So if at the end of the day you're not journaling, you're not maybe consulting with a therapist, you're not praying, you're not conversing with someone, you're taking all of that in and you're carrying it in your thoughts, you're carrying it in your heart, you're carrying it in your day, and it reflects in how you show up for yourself and how you show up for your children. And one thing I realized it is very important for you to decide, what is worth me focusing on? Is this worth me carrying? Is this worth me getting upset and frustrated about? Can I let this roll off? Can I decide to just let that just fall to the ground? Can I decide to not allow that to affect me? That comes with the strength. That comes with knowing that my peace is more valuable than me picking up something that was meant to disturb my peace, that was meant to be a distraction. You have to know that you have a decision. You have a choice to make, and that's a decision. You can decide whether or not you will allow something or someone to affect you. And that's where boundaries come in. And a lot of times people think boundaries, you make them known to people by verbalizing them to them. Boundaries can sometimes be your energy. Choosing not to respond, choosing to walk away, choosing to just redirect that energy towards something that's beneficial to you. Choosing to focus on the things that you have set, like your goals for this month, your goals for this year. Choosing to decide, you know what? I'm not even going to pick that up. I'm not even going to put energy in that. I'm going to go and I'm going to fill my cup. I'm going to go and I'm going to do something that fills me up, that empowers me, that I can go and empower my child. You have to decide. You have to decide. And it's important that you have that relationship with God because you find joy in His presence. When you have that relationship with Him, you know that He is with you and that He is keeping you. And that at the end of the day, He will never leave you nor forsake you. No matter who decides to walk away, no matter who decides to just come in as a distraction, you have to know that God is with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He empowers you. He uplifts you. He teaches you by the Holy Spirit. You have to know that you're not alone and that you don't have to carry any weight, any burden by yourself. But you also have to have that faith to know I can choose to sit in this situation, or I can choose to take intentional steps of faith. I can choose to focus on the desires God placed in my heart. I can choose to get up and make an impact. I can choose to go out and encourage someone. I don't have to sit in what somebody has done to me. You have to decide that. You have to decide where your focus goes. And that when you release the feeling of holding on to outcome, because that's really surrenderance. When you release the outcome, whether it goes the way you want it to go, or whether it goes another way, you have peace in your soul that this outcome is with God because I've surrendered everything to Him. He is the center of my heart. I'm holding my peace because I know God's got it. I know He's got it, and I know the outcome, no matter what it is, will work together for my good. And you have to hold on to your joy. That thing that ignites you, that thing that causes you to smile and radiate. You have to hold on to that. That no matter what you may be going through, you can still be an encouragement to someone else. Because you have to be reminded not to let your heart be hardened by your circumstances and how people treat you or what they do. You may know somebody may not be doing right. You may know someone may, have ill intentions or whatever, but you cannot allow that to harden your heart because you have a work to do. You have a purpose and a plan that God has placed in your life. You have desires that He has placed in your heart, and you cannot allow your heart to be hardened. And I'm reminded of the verse in Proverbs, and it's Proverbs 19:8. And it says, He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. And that isn't so important because when you get wisdom, when you get knowledge, when you get understanding from God, you know that you are not walking in this thing alone. You know that He will equip you, He will empower you, He will give you those divine downloads to help you navigate this thing, to help you navigate your journey. He will lead you on the path of insight and discretion when you seek Him, when you seek His wisdom. And you keep understanding, and to keep is to guard, to observe, to give heed, to watch for, to wait for, to get God's understanding, that you don't lean on your understanding of what you think a situation is or what you think the outcome is, because you never know if a situation is meant to grow you, is meant to do a work in you, perfect you, it is meant to prune you, So it's very important that you don't lean on your own understanding concerning the things that you may be going through, but you get God's wisdom, His understanding, and let it guide you in every single aspect of your life. Because sometimes we can only see through, especially if you may be enduring certain situations, sometimes that can cause you to only see one perspective. But when you really take the situation to God, whether you're praying about it, whether you're journaling about it, whether you're meditating on it, and really seeking God for the answers, you will be able to see through God's lens. You will be able to get a greater understanding of what may be happening, so that you can make the right steps and the decision that you need to make concerning your life, concerning your household, concerning your children, because it's very important to know that you have to be healthy mentally, spiritually, and physically in order to really train up and teach your children, because they're like sponges. They're always observing, they're looking, they're paying attention, and it is so much that they can be distracted by. But you have to ensure that you're standing on a strong foundation, and that foundation is found in God. So if you're not yielding and surrendering to God, how can you expect to be empowered and strengthened through your weaknesses, through things that may come up, through distractions, if you don't have that relationship with Him? Because it really takes the empowerment of the Holy Spirit to guide you through this journey. And that even could be in motherhood, because raising children to be good stewards and a heart devoted to God, it takes more than just you, because it's bigger than you. These are fundamental teachings. These are things that they will carry with them and then teach their children. So you want to ensure that you are holding your peace, that you are in surrenderance to God, and even those things that you may be struggling with, that you're not being hypercritical of yourself and talking down to yourself, but you are encouraging yourself through it. You are releasing guilt and you're releasing shame, and you are going to the Father and you're releasing those insecurities, those weaknesses to Him, instead of talking down on yourself. Because you have to remember, you are His creation, you are His daughter. He loves you and He cares for you, and He is waiting for you to come to Him. He knows those struggles, He knows those weaknesses, He knows the areas where you need His strength. But do you know them? And so I wanted to come on and encourage you, because it's very important that no matter what you may be enduring in your life, ensure that you are holding that peace that God gives you, that rest that He gives you in your soul, that quiet, that calm spirit, that you can decide what you want to focus on and choose to focus on growing, choose to focus on the desires God placed in your heart, choose to focus on cultivating that relationship with Him, so you could be a better woman, a better mom to your children. That you decide where your peace and your focus goes. So that I hope that this has encouraged you today.